Welcome back to another episode of the Hooligans Pitch. 5 weeks to go in the Premier League. 2 more rounds of the Champions League. We are here for it. We are happy, upset, confused. Here for all the controversy. Chad?
It's all the emotions come down to these 5 games.
I mean, the fan in us, this is what we wanted. Personally, I didn't want to run away. I didn't want, the title to be over in April. Let's get this thing down to the wire. Let's make the playoff happen. Let's figure out a way to, I guess mathematically that the playoff is impossible, but we can still dream. We can dream for it. Chad, morning coffee,
Absolutely the same here.
That's where we're at now. One of these days we'll have our beer in the evenings, but just the way the schedule's been working, we've been tired, we've been traveling, we've been going kind of hard, if you know what I mean.
Truly.
Yeah. Well, let's just get right into the biggest news of the weekend: Arsenal and City. We were airport bound.
Yeah.
Stuck in the lounge watching the game.
I was in that crazy Denver airport.
Yeah.
Didn't get lost on the way in.
That's good. Once you learn it, once you get familiar of it, you can kind of work your way around it. But watching the game on I'm assuming your phone, right?
Yeah.
Not in front of the big screen. Hard to tell when those crosses were going in. Who was hitting them? I had to zoom in once or twice on a replay to see who actually hit the ball. But let's get into it. I know you're upset, considering your team probably should have done better in the end, but it doesn't mean it's over.
It doesn't mean it's over, and honestly, it's a weird, definitely disappointment, upset of losing it. And I mean, it's not only been this game, but Arsenal has allowed this points gap to never really extend, and has just deteriorated at this point. But this performance was probably one of the best we've seen in I'll say weeks, but it might be months. Truly, this felt a little bit more similar to early season Arsenal. I think defensively still suspect, not nearly as solid as we've seen this team been. But overall, fluidity and attacking options and shots, I think we looked a lot better. It wasn't a repeat of the Carabao Cup final, that's for sure. And I think that was probably every Arsenal fan's main worry going into this one, apart from the points and everything. Because if it was just a repeat of that and ends up a 2-3-0, something like that, then it's already doom and gloom over here. But it would have been we're setting fire to the club, everyone gotta go. So I'm glad it's not that. I think this game really just came down to a few moments. Cherki's goal, incredible, great footwork, great to stay on his feet and find the shot. Havertz, a lot of people don't want to give him too much credit for it. I think mainly because of the misses later. But he chases Donnarumma down and puts that pressure on him and forces the mistake, really. And for it to be instantly after the Cherki goal, I think was exactly what was needed. I think if Cherki scores and game just plays on, I don't know how confident I'd be that Arsenal really get a goal back in this game.
Yeah, the fact that it happened 2 minutes after the Cherki goal, we were walking on the tram. I was like, "Oh, City up 1-0," and it was and then I literally put my phone away for 1 second and looked back. I was like 1-1. I was like, that was fast, and then it felt like game on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, the Haaland goal was really good too, considering the pressure that was being put on him and just the constant battle between him and Gabby all game was fun to watch. But then it got a little too much for me near the end, and I think most could probably agree that you can't let someone get in your head that much to cause you to get a card, and sure, it was a yellow. I think personally it could have been more. He was close, right? It was that fine line where I don't mind heads coming together when you're getting in someone's face, but once you start to push your head forward into someone else, like that's where it's like, okay, you lost the battle here. He's now officially in your head, both mentally and like that could have been another card worthy for me. But outside of that, I mean, Arsenal had a chance to tie this game with that breakaway.
Multiple chances. I mean,
the big one was the 4v2 breakaway.
Yeah.
That, of course, great save by Donnarumma, but I feel like y'all got to that final third, and it was that, oh, shit, what do we do now? It was like, instead of just like going for it, right? Remember the Elise goal that we saw in the Champions League last week where he got the ball, ton of space, and just went directly at goal?
Yeah.
That mentality was not with Arsenal there. It was not I'm going to score on you. It was like, okay, let's try to make sure we do the perfect pass here to find a shot on goal, from my perspective.
I think it's, for me, that came down to, Havertz not having had a ton of play time, Odegaard probably even less play time, and just, not having that in-game confidence and experience. Because I think really, like, it's played well. I think it's just, it almost feels like each pass was just a little bit soft or behind where it needed to be, and then that final pass and shot was just again a little bit off of where it needed to be. Should Odegaard maybe just taken a shot? Maybe, but again, I think it's that confidence and just lack of actual game time he's had this season. All that said, we looked much better with both of them on the pitch than when they're not available. So
right.
They're bringing something to the table, certainly, and we know they can contribute more and get those shots off. But unfortunately, just wasn't in the cards there. But even Eze's shot right off the post, like, it's one of those games where I think it probably could have ended in a draw, and I think everyone would have been like, yeah, that's cool, or it could have went either way. And everyone would have been like, well, yeah, they made the most of their moments, or like, City here made the most of theirs. And it just was, I feel like for as many seasons where we have these matches of the season, regardless of what teams it is, it feels like a lot of times those fall pretty flat. And this one felt pretty entertaining, I think, from start to finish. So that's always good from like the fan perspective.
Yeah, it's about time. I feel like it's been a while since City has had a true test. You could kind of say the same for Arsenal, even though we've had a couple, losses in the last, year or so. But yeah, I mean, gosh, City has gone up against, we'll call it the Chelsea, the Uniteds, the Liverpools, and just kind of what felt like dominated them. I think United got the best of City last time around, but and that was an entertaining game too. It just feels like there's few, but when they happen, they're exciting. It came down to the wire, right? I mean, Havertz had that chance at the very last second to possibly put a shot on goal, and it just went over the bar. I feel like it's been a while since City's had that late game pressure. But I mean, it was close. It wasn't it wasn't a blowout, and that's, I think, as shitty as that sounds, like that's a good thing here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Arteta might be kicking himself a little bit for some of his subs here. Like, I liked Martinelli starting out the second half. I don't think Madueke was doing enough. But I don't know that Martinelli was necessarily working to the way that Arteta would have wanted to see. So I almost would have like subbed Martinelli off and got maybe Gyökeres or Trossard in then.
Yeah, Gyökeres coming in at the 84th is late. What's your thoughts on that? And over the Havertz start, I'm assuming Arteta wanted a little bit more ball control and possession, so that's why Havertz was probably there, because of his passing and just overall dribbling capabilities.
I don't mind the Havertz start. I think Havertz is just more of the striker that Arteta's system wants and needs. And Gyökeres is not exactly that player. I think they have kind of found ways to make him work in the system, but I think if you asked Arteta, I think he'd still choose Havertz as his starting striker more often than not.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind him starting. I think I would have liked to see. I think it's okay. It sucks. I know it's harsh. It's ruthless, but it's a game where you need all the points. So if you start the second half of Martinelli, things are going okay. City get their second goal at the 65th minute. I think you make subs kind of right then. I like the Ben White swap for Mosquera. He's getting worked by Doku and is already on a yellow, so that's fine. I think Eze has to stay out there. Odegaard, I think, should stay. I don't know. It just depends on his fitness level, since he hasn't really
played the full 90. I mean, that's impressive in itself.
So. But I think maybe you did the Zubimendi sub for Gyökeres anyway later on, but why not get Gyökeres on at the 75th minute when he made these subs, and then you almost just play like a 2-striker system, or just.
And you had Guehi on a yellow too.
Yeah, Guehi on a yellow. A draw here is fine. The win is better. The loss is exactly what you don't want. So you're already down a goal. I think you just kind of throw it all out there.
Yeah, who cares if you lose by 2? I mean, maybe at the end it comes down to goal differential because it is tight, but you're right. You throw it all out there. You need this. Yeah. You need the point, right? You need the point rather than, I think, one more goal being scored on you.
And even beyond the points, I think just overall team momentum through these last 5 games, I think, can be a big factor here, right? Both teams still need to win all their games, but if you kind of put that message out to the players of we're going for broke here, so leave it all out there. If we got to stack attackers in the last 15 minutes, whatever, cool, we're doing it. Yeah, I think I like that. I like that Arteta, quote unquote, took the risk to come out and play here and not just try and defend the whole game. But I think could have taken it that step further and just threw it out there. Get all your attackers on and let your creative players kind of try and find the pass and find the ball and make something happen. But again, overall, I'm disappointed to lose, but I'm happy with the performance, and I think there's still 5 games to play. It's not over. I know a lot of people are saying it's over, and I get it. We've seen the City team do this time and time again.
But the difference here is City had just dropped points to Forest and West Ham within the last 6 match days. Who's to say Villa isn't going to do the same? Bournemouth, Brentford. I mean, those are Everton. Those are quality teams right now who are not just going to lay down unless they don't want Arsenal to win the title, which that's not going to happen in this. As a professional baller, you're not going to lose a game on purpose. So another team can win the title. That's never going to happen.
I mean, yeah, you look at, Everton is in a shout for Europe, right? Brentford, the same thing. Bournemouth is up
they're there too. Right? Yeah, they're there.
They're up there too. So these are all teams that are still fighting for something. Palace, I feel like Palace and City kind of have a little rough patch. Palace can sometimes get one over. And I think City and Villa just have this weird almost rivalry for some reason. But they always show up. And again, Villa's trying to protect their Champions League spot here. So no easy games. And, Arsenal surely can slip up in any of these games. But you look at these teams, Newcastle's been struggling. Fulham is very hit or miss. The toughest one might be West Ham. They're trying to survive. They're gonna throw it all out there, right?
Right.
And you got Burnley, who will, more than likely already be relegated by that point. and then Palace. So really, Palace can decide who wins this whole thing.
I mean, y'all definitely have the easiest schedule out of these two teams. No doubt about that. It really just comes down to, I think you're going to have a point where it's like, do we throw it all at Champions League or we throw it all at Premier League? I think this first round against Atletico is going to have a pretty good influence on that. It's going to make for a fantastic finish. I mean, if City goes up now and wins their next game, Burnley's next for them, right? So we'll call it realistically at the end of the week when everyone's played 33 matches, that City will be top of the table. I think we just have to come to that agreement. But then these next 5, it's really a coin toss. I think it's a 50-50 shot at this point of who's going to take the title. I know the odds say it was like 60% City and 40% Arsenal, but I mean, match strength and who is fighting for Europe right now. No one against Arsenal is playing for Europe.
Yeah,
that's huge. That's huge on your end. I don't know, man. It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be fun.
It'll be tight. It's like I said last time, these games should not have been as monumental as they are, but this is where Arsenal wanted to end their season, and here we are. You got 5 games, to just muster up any extra energy, any extra pizzazz you got, throw it out there and fight. It's you can either do that, and even if you end up losing the title, at least you went out fighting, or you fade away, and then it's just you fall more into the like bottlers rhetoric, right? It's just players don't want that. I'm sure they hear enough of it through fans at stadiums and all the media coverage and everything. So yeah, it's the fan in me. I'm ready. I'm gonna keep hoping. I don't really, it's not fun for me to say it's over when this was a loss that, I mean, this was a game that shouldn't have even mattered, but Arsenal lost to Bournemouth and drew to Wolves and Brentford and stuff earlier in the season. So there's mistakes along the way, but that's just where this league is. You have to almost be perfect to win it, and we nearly are. It's just unfortunate that couldn't capitalize on some of those other games, but you gotta hope, you gotta have fun with it, and let's go. It's 5 games, bust them out. Maybe we get a Champions League along the way. Cool.
Yeah, at this point, you taking a Champions League final or a Premier League title? Because really, like, either one.
Yeah.
You call your season a success. I think you're disappointed you didn't get the English Premier League, but the Champions League title looks pretty nice too.
Yeah, I think either one would be great for the club, the players, the fans. But I think the Premier League title probably holds a little bit more weight at this time, just because it has been multiple seasons of being right there. And
like 6 in a row for second. Is that right?
I think 3 in a row of
okay.
Like proper second. I think there's a few others where it's like second, but we were like 10 points off or something.
Okay.
But it's. I think Premier League title would just shut up a lot of the media like piling on that Arsenal gets. And honestly, it'll apparently destroy a bunch of rival fans, so that would be great. They seem to all turn to City fans now, which, again, is crazy to me. But if you can take this beating, let City get this close, and you still like come out ahead, like that's a pretty good win. Champions League would be incredible. I'd love to see it, but I think Premier League is the bigger target.
I mean, best case scenario, win both. But I do think if y'all win the Premier League title and say go against Bayern in the final and lose that, I don't think too many people are going to be upset that y'all lost to a absolutely historical Bayern team who I believe has scored the most goals in Bundesliga history.
think so.
And they're like on pace to do it probably again next year, just because of how dominant their striking force is.
I know Harry Kane has scored more than Tottenham this season. So.
Yes. That's crazy too. That's pretty wild. Yeah, again, I love the finishes. Last game of the season will be May 24th, which is Memorial Day weekend. So we should try to find a way to connect. Maybe have an EPL party that day. I think what time do games start here? Gosh, I want to say they started at 10 a.m. when I lived in Missouri, so I'm assuming it's 8 a.m.
The Arsenal's at 8.
That's all. Every game. Every game. 8, yeah. All right, we'll see what we can do there. But yeah, I mean, having the multi-box viewing of everything is it's so fun. I remember last year I had a soccer game that day, and everyone on the sidelines who wasn't playing was just glued to their phones seeing what was happening. Yeah. So, I guess no, sorry, it might have been 2 years ago. Considering Liverpool absolutely smoked the league last year. It was two years ago, but same thing. So yeah, fingers crossed for you, man.
Yeah, it's all we can do is enjoy the ride, hope for the best.
Yep. Well,
presses up the players.
Liverpool found a miracle goal. I'll tell my little story about how that ended. We were literally returning the rental car, and I think we had 1 more minute to go in that game. And I said something along the lines of like, I have no hope anymore. Just turn the car off. Let's go in. And literally, I shut the passenger door after I got my bag out, and I see goal Liverpool 99th minute. And I was like, Kristen, they won. She was like, she just shook her head at me. I was like, whatever. I was so disappointed. I was hate watching. And yeah, I just literally turned it off, and 30 seconds later they win. Sweet.
You should have done that earlier.
I know. Another miracle goal. It just, remember when we had all this magic at the beginning of the season? If it comes back now and it finds us, to be third place in the league, happy with it, Champions League as possible, it's going to make for a weird summer. I think as crappy as it sounds, saying we don't wish our slot had success so then we could get Alonso, just makes it weird. Of course, we want the club to do well, but also we can't have it all, right?
Yeah.
So, is the season a disappointment if we come in third, despite all these wicked injuries we've had? It's hard to say. Yes, we're disappointed because the team hasn't lived up to this, I guess, potential. But when you have countless injuries in this team, AFCON in the middle, World Cup at the end, there's so many factors. The only hope is that if we do keep Slot, that we change our tactics and play style. I don't know, man. It's hard to complain when you're in third, right? And you just came off of a title-winning season when you got teams beneath you. We'll call it Everton, who are, stoked to get a point off of Liverpool. Like Curtis Jones said, it's like our mentality is to win. Theirs is to be close in the table to Liverpool. So it's, I don't know, it's conflicting. It's messy. It's, I don't know anymore. I think the Champions League exit felt like a realistic gut punch. But then when you look at the table and see where we're at and the potential we could be at, with the struggles that Villa and United are kind of having, third is a real viable finish for us. It feels wrong. Doesn't feel like we should be third. But, say we do win out, we're only a couple points away from where, City is now. So it's unusual.
So, if you end up third, would you feel more comfortable giving Slot the next season, at least the start of the season?
Not if Alonso is still there.
If Alonso's still up for option, then
I think
you jump on it.
I think you got to take it. I think this isn't necessarily about the point system how many points we have. I mean, it's the way we've been playing our players. It's the way we last season, how we still had the Klopp tactics, and he said openly, I don't want to change too much. And then this year he's like, we're going to do it kind of my way. and everything, I don't want to say fell apart, but it was very different and didn't fit the play style of a lot of players we already had. If Alonso comes in, he has his boy Wirtz there that he's already obviously made a $120 million player. I would fully expect that to happen again. There's something going on in training too, I imagine, that we just keep piling up these injuries. I'd love to see a little bit more into that, but losing Ikatike again and that's a bummer. Now we're down to our third string keeper. It's like it's hard to blame these faults on Slot. I would say we're not getting rid of Slot because of where we finished in the table. It's strictly just a tactics thing, and we have this guy on the side who was a Liverpool player for many, many years. I think fans are gonna obviously take to Alonso very quickly. I will say though, Slot has come alive these last couple weeks. Way more animated on the sidelines. Maybe he is becoming more comfortable. I think the fans want that Klopp-like energy. Just to go from Klopp to anyone else is always going to be a transition. But if Slot stays, I won't be surprised. But if the season starts next year, how we had it in the kind of middle of this season, it's got to go fast, which doesn't make sense, right? Why get rid of someone in the first month when you could have done this now, which in all arguments, I think it probably should have happened after the PSG game. I think we probably should have brought in an interim, had Alonso on the side, waiting for like the training summer to start, and then implement it there. We didn't choose that option. Now it's going to be, if Slot wins out the rest of the season here, say we win 5 in a row, then what do we do? Right? It's complicated. It's complicated.
Like I always say with the teams that are, falling down the table throughout the season, like you always see the articles come out of like, oh, well, if they lose to Palace or whoever, like the manager might be out. It's like if the thought's already there, I think it's often just worth it to like rip that Band-Aid off and move on. I know Liverpool has, continually come out and said that Slot's under no pressure, no fire. But I think the board will notice, and I think the club and fans all notice whether it feels like a team is progressing or not, or at least, playing to their potential. And I feel like there's been moments where it seems like it, but I think overall this season it's been pretty I wouldn't say stagnant, but just rocky. Like, yes, he's implementing more of his tactics, and like you said, it doesn't necessarily fit the personnel he has, and then you have all the injuries, so there's a lot of factors. But like, I don't know, I think that also shows something of a manager when things are going poorly and it's like you're not finding a way out necessarily. And then you got this guy who took Leverkusen to an undefeated season and a title, and went to Madrid and did really well, and it's just Madrid being Madrid while he got fired. That's purely what it was. Nothing against Xabi.
Yeah, Madrid's still a hot mess.
Yeah, so I think if Liverpool can put out the feeler and Xabi's like, yeah, I'll come, then I think you just take it. And Slot, he can say he was part of the team that got the title, even though it was maybe mostly just roll over from Klopp. But I as a fan of the league and everything, like, I don't think I've seen enough of those glimmers of like the Liverpool that we've known for the past 8-10 years. Like,
our club's kind of boring.
It's and it very well could switch as Slot gets more time with players and players that he needs. But I think again, this league is at a point where you can't really afford to lose and give up too many points. And Liverpool is a big team and wants to be at the top fighting for the title. So I think that sometimes takes you got to be ruthless sometimes. And Slot, your time may have come, even with, potential third place finish here.
I think the biggest, I don't want to say problem, but we never really got to see what this team could have been with Ekitike and Isak up front.
Oh, yeah.
Taking the pressure off of Mo. It's very much a what could have been season.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I don't even know how many probably minutes they play together. Probably not a lot.
No.
It's well, actually, I think I might have it here. 437 minutes together, which almost feels like too much.
It does feel like too much.
437 divided by 90. 4 games, roughly four and a half games.
It's still not a lot, but it's more than I remember.
Yeah, I mean, and it was so long ago. It had to have been in mostly August, September, and maybe even September, October, because Isak really didn't even get to the club.
True.
Until late August, and then Isak was and Ekitike was already performing. So we came into that situation of like, well, now we got 2 guys. Where are we going to put them? And of course, in the PSG game, we see them both, which was fascinating to see for all 20 minutes before the Achilles rupture. Which that injury, man, that's the recovery on that for an explosive player like Ekitike. It's gonna be tough. And we're not even gonna see him really until around this point next year, maybe as early as like February. So 2 of our main strikers, devastating injuries within the last year. Are we already thinking bring in another striker because we need one? Probably.
I think you have to.
Probably. So I'd like to see who's on that list. I got a couple that I could mention who I think would fit pretty nicely. Like an Alvarez from Atletico, if they're willing to let that go. I think he would slot in nicely. Again, we'd have to kind of pick and choose, but tough place to be. How about Harry Kane? Want to come back? Never happened, but
I mean, he's loving life at Bayern, but he's already won the league a couple times. If he wins Champions League with it, like, why not come back, try for a Premier League title?
Don't think it'd be with us. That's my only I don't even know what to call it, concern. But hey, if Tottenham goes down, it ain't gonna be with Tottenham. That would actually that'd probably be the only one I'd be worried about if Kane did come back. Who would he go to? And if Tottenham is still there, it would probably be them. So it's a fun little thing we can float out there. All right, well, we got Champions League next week. You ready for that matchup? I think that's gonna be a doozy.
I think so. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how both teams want to play this, really. At least for Arsenal and Atletico, it's 2 teams that I think people know are maybe more confident in their defense than their offense. But Alvarez has been looking great for Atletico, and Arsenal in Champions League as a whole has been, I think, the best, or maybe Bayern has like just edged past them on probably total goals scored and all that, but so we'll see. I think if Arsenal can, the performance against City, if that's like the basis of how Arsenal will play through these next few weeks, I think they can take it to Atletico. It's just gonna be I think it's gonna be a dogfight, really. It's 2 teams that will not want to throw away this chance to get to the final. Just hope that everyone comes through unscathed by the end of this.
What games do y'all have compared to I guess in these next 2 weeks? Say you're going to go Newcastle on the weekend, Atletico next week, Fulham and Atletico. So you have a favorable matchup within these 2 games. And you're away for the first leg. So coming back home, do you give it everything you got on that first leg? Probably not, right?
I think it'll be similar to Sporting, where, I mean, Arsenal wasn't playing all too well there, but I think it will take a just kind of I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 1-0 either way. you know, it just depends what Arsenal shows up, really. I think you got to just build on the City performance. I know it resulted in a loss, but the team performance had just been so much better than what we'd seen in a long time. So,
well, and you're getting Timber and Calafiori back too.
Yeah, that'll be big.
So that'll be big. Kind of especially I think Timber, man, when he's been on it, y'all have looked way different. And it's been, how long has he been out? It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, I forget how long, but it's definitely been a while. I think initially it was supposed to be like a couple week thing, and I feel like it's been at least a couple months, maybe.
See, just when's the last time we tracked points for him, right?
Yeah.
It's been about 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Okay, feels like months.
Well, when you've been struggling for a minute, the time does move differently. And then, of course, the Bayern PSG matchup. Those teams are the highest scoring teams in the Champions League this year.
Yeah.
I imagine it's probably going to go that same way of maybe a high-scoring game. So. Just two different play styles, too, right? One team really going through a number 9. The other team just almost that tiki-taka type style of anyone can score at any moment, while Bayern's going to have 3 guys mostly scoring on you the entire time. So,
yeah.
Again, fascinating game to watch. Are those on different days? They are.
It should be.
Yeah. So we get PSG Bayern first, and then Madrid Arsenal on the Wednesday. So I won't be able to watch either of them. So I'll be hoping you can update me as best as you can. But I want Bayern Arsenal. That's my final.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun final.
Mm-hmm.
Fun for like the lore behind Bayern and Arsenal meeting in Champions League, but also I just think it's like you said, Bayern is so they're quick, they want to score, they got Kane, Elise, these big names, but at the same time, if Arsenal can get some players back healthy and like find some of that early season form here at the end in these big games, I think it could be a real shootout and a fun one for everyone.
I feel like this has been building up since like 2010, right? And now we finally get this one-off match. I just hope if Arsenal wins against Madrid, they're still playing well in the Premier League to at least like build up this confidence and kind of their reputation. I don't want them to skate by Madrid on like a 0-0 or a 1-0 while we see just PSG and Bayern just like throwing haymakers at each other and like showing how much scoring potential they have. I think the good news is if you get Bayern, a lot of those players look familiar.
Absolutely.
You know what Elise, Kane, and Diaz have all done in the Premier League, so that could be a huge advantage there. The PSG, gosh, when's the last time y'all played PSG?
I think, was it this? It might have been last Champions League phase. I think we played them. Maybe.
It looks like you guys play them in the semis last year?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So
familiar too, and those were close games too, right? Looks like 1-0. It was a 2-1 and maybe a 1-0. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That was, but that season we had also played them in the league phase.
Okay.
So that's what it was. But yeah. So I mean, I think either one of those matchups would be good. No disrespect to Atletico, but like, just don't think you're a very entertaining team.
They were against Tottenham. You can give them that. But that was more of Tottenham being entertaining for us. It could have been anyone on the other side of the pitch, and
sure.
And we probably would have saw the same outcome. All right. Well, back to Premier League here since we brought up Tottenham. They get the draw against Brighton, which is huge for them.
Absolutely.
Just the way the draw happened.
Well.
Did you see Seaman's reaction after that goal?
Yeah.
I feel for him.
Look, it's his fault. He took his shirt off after his goal. So
why did he?
Why you can't do that?
Why did he do that? Why? It's It's like, brother, you're in relegation zone. I get like every goal matters, but like you get the card automatically for that. Then you have to change the way you're playing, which was already decent. And then, Tottenham just doing Tottenham things. I was almost, when I watched the highlights at the end there, where Danzo could have cleared the ball, I almost got confused at what team was attacking where because of the move he made. The cut he made almost towards his own goal, and then trying to get rid of it quickly. I got this like confusion, man, because I've seen Tottenham wear yellow before too, and I had this like switch in my head. I was like, wait, why did Brighton do that? That's not Brighton, that's Tottenham. And then it was like, oh, dude. And then just easy goal, devastation for Tottenham. But we're seeing more rumors now where Tottenham can climb out of this hole because West Ham drew against Palace, and I just don't buy that narrative. Because we're still at the point where Tottenham has not won a game when we're seeing West Ham put 4 on a team. It's again, nothing is certain, but just I still don't see Tottenham climbing out of this hole. And they're saying West Ham might have a harder schedule. I think that's tough to believe too. The Wolves can do anything. Villa all of a sudden is hot. Leeds is looking really nice. I think the best game in your schedule is this Chelsea team that is just absolutely crumbling at the moment. I mean, Chelsea is a whole other thing that we've talked about this year and what they are doing / what they can do. And this last stretch of losing 5 out of 6.
Is that what it is?
Let me click on my Premier League for Chelsea here.
6. At least 4 out of 5.
At least 4 out of 5. They drew against Burnley when they got their red card. So.
Oh yeah.
And they're about to run into a tough stretch here. Brighton, Forest, Liverpool, Tottenham, Sunderland. If I'm Chelsea, I'm looking at the Tottenham game like, hey, that's the one we can probably circle, and Tottenham's doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's. I'll say it's not a clear road for either West Ham or Tottenham, but I think West Ham has been gaining momentum and is on the front foot here, where Tottenham is still like looking to find their footing, right? Like this was that first step of like, we can just not lose a game, so that's good, but I worry about their mentality going away to Wolves. I know Wolves are officially relegated, but that makes it for a scary game where Tottenham can go in and say, oh, well, they're already relegated, like they got nothing to play for. But if you're Wolves, you just get to do whatever the heck you want now, and you can upset some teams, you can surprise some teams, especially at home. Like, you got nothing to play for, at least put on a nice show for your home fans. So
go out on a ride.
And then I see a lot of Tottenham fans circling the Leeds game as like they can get a draw out of that one, if not a win. And I would disagree. I think Leeds, much like West Ham, got their foot on the gas, and they're driving away from that relegation zone as quick as they can.
Leeds is like the 6th hottest team in the league right now.
Yeah, I get it. They're maybe they got circled because it's one of the newer promoted teams, but like they're looking to stay, and at this point I think they're pretty much clear to stay. So yeah, I think sure Tottenham can take some belief, I guess, from this game of like, okay, we scored 2 goals. We made it rough for a Brighton team that was probably best in form in the league for past 5 weeks or so. Take some confidence, belief from that if you want, but I think you still got to dig in here. It's not going to be plain sailing, that's for sure.
Yeah, Leeds is not the game where you're saying this is our win. I mean, and kudos to Leeds too for putting some gas on the pedal. Same with Forest to like climb out of that little scary zone. Forest is still close. I think Leeds is going to be all right. But look at Forest, the way they just played on the weekend. I mean, they're scoring goals. They're I mean, doing everything I think right at this point of the season to make sure they stay up. I think West Ham is probably still that team where it's like we need to find a victory, maybe 2 or 3 in these next 5, which are all very possible. I think the Newcastle game you'll find a way. Points against Everton and Brentford are realistic. That win against the Wolves they had was clutch.
Huge.
But I mean, again, it's 5 games left. Tottenham hasn't won a game all of 2026. 9 losses, which I imagine is the most in 2026. It definitely is.
Probably, yeah.
Probably the least amount of goals scored. Close. They're beating Burnley, the Wolves, and Palace in goals scored. And Palace hasn't had a striker familiar with their system in quite a while. Mateta's back. So, again, we're watching the top and bottom ever so closely. It's, man, I'm excited. These 5 weeks are going to make for, I hope one of the mid-table teams have been mid-table for a while, make Europe. I would love to see kind of Villa get pushed out just because they've been here for a while and kind of done nothing with it. But they could win Europa. We're going to see Forest and Villa. I think next week is that matchup too.
I think so, yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, there's things to watch from top to bottom, really. Like, it's a good season to be a footy fan, a Premier League fan, right? Like, you got close to the top, close to the bottom, and then this middle, like in and out of Europe. What, like 3rd through 10th, I guess, is like it's all kind of right there. It could switch pretty quickly.
I mean, 15th to 6th is 9 points away.
Jeez.
I don't know the last time we've had that close of a gap. I think Chelsea and Brentford, and we'll throw Bournemouth in there too, earning all these draws and losses, just like condense the whole middle of the table. I mean, Chelsea losing 5 of 6 was not on anyone's bingo cards. It's really quiet from Chelsea fans right now. Not a lot of.
They post all the Arsenal memes the whole time.
I know it's. You're not wrong, and I guess we haven't really seen any Chelsea memes in a while.
No.
We gotta go digging. I'm gonna go digging a little bit and see what I can find. LinkedIn Liam. Let's see. I bet we can search for that and we'll get some good stuff.
Easy.
But yeah, man, that's it. It opens so many doors for. I know Fulham has been kind of shit, but they're 3 points away from being in 6th place. Like, that makes no sense, but yet here they are. I don't think they deserve to be 6. I would much rather see a Brentford, a Brighton, call it a Bournemouth too. I think Brighton probably deserves it the most, considering they're the hottest team. I think the last 2 months they had the most points. I saw that graphic come up.
Yeah.
But and they're 6th right now in points in 2026. So, would be cool to see the goals possibly making Champions League. Do we get 5 spots this year?
Yeah.
5, yeah. So I mean, if Villa fall out, which is possible. They put it to Sunderland this week. I think that was a surprise matchup, that 4-3.
Oof, yeah.
Just slugfest. But, and if Villa go and win Europa, they make it anyway. So
that's true.
Potentially having 6 teams in the Champions League next year.
Oh boy.
Still a possibility Forest does get relegated, and if they win Europa, I think it would be the first team in the championship in Champions League, which fun story there too. Don't see that happening, but it would be fun. Don't really know what the money situation would look like there.
I don't know.
It'd be buying Premier League players to probably dominate the championship, just to probably get league phase exit in Champions League.
Probably.
I'm here for it. Sounds cool.
You gotta hope for some Bodo magic and just like teams just disrespect you and you just steamroll them.
Now, if you do get relegated as Forest and you're Morgan Gibbs White, teams are gonna want you. But are you playing Champions League footy while being in the championship at like your prime?
Just to say.
Probably, unless you're getting signed by say a United, who are that would make a lot of sense for them.
a team is going to be fighting at the top
for
end.
sure.
Because otherwise, I mean, even if you just give it half a season, you leave in the winter or something, just to say like, yeah, it's in the championship, played in the Champions League.
Right.
Could be cool.
Could be. That's a tough thing for a player who probably isn't going to play for a top 6 team. We'll say Milinkovic, right? I think that's a good example. I don't see him leaving Forest if they drop down for a Everton, right?
Yeah.
A Fulham. I think he's playing Champions League rather than going back to the Premier League. So
yeah, probably.
I think I'm rooting for Forest.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's a bummer Villa and Forest play each other next week.
Yeah, I wish it was swapped a little bit.
Like another Man U Tottenham situation, but I think we probably got rigged to not let that happen again. Bottom of the table team playing in the final to earn Champions League. They're like, we can't have this happen twice.
No.
But if Forest win it, it'll be more of a storyline than Tottenham for sure. Last year doing it.
Yeah.
I think we hit all the talking points. Chad, you got anything else you want to bring up?
Not really. No, I mean, got all the big ones. Just now it's kind of that mad dash. There's no real breaks anymore, and keep an eye on European leagues. And
yep,
there we go.
All right. Well, we got Brighton, Chelsea right now, starting
right now. Oh yeah, that's right.
So I'm hoping for a Brighton win. Let's make that middle of the pack even more condensed. If Chelsea lose this, they'll be losing the last 5 out of 5, which is very realistic. I think Enzo's back today though, so that could be a huge help.
His ban.
Yeah. So again, time will tell. Go Brighton, go goals, score another banger, Matoma. All right, with that, Hooligans pitch. We're out. Peace.